can't use it because there's the boundary problem. Or if I now say, okay, just put it like that, it now go out of the shape I made and into the second shape. It was just messed up. I don't know. I even tried joining it, combining it to form one shape, but that issue still remain. That's why I've not even submitted my assignment yet. So is there a solution to that?
Did you join with your system? Are you joining this call with your system?
No, I'm on my phone.
Is your system on?
I,
Join with your system so you
let me
can share
join
your
my
screen.
system.
Okay, so does
All right,
anyone
sir.
have any other question?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, I don't know what I will have because I'm just joining, so I don't know what you people have discussed before I join. So I will appreciate if you can just brief me, brief us about what have been discussed like a few minutes ago before I join, whether I can ask question.
Okay, is this the first
Thank you,
time you
sir.
are joining this AutoCAD training? Have you been
No, no, no,
attending
no, no,
other
no, no.
classes?
Yes, I've attended all the one we've done. Yes.
Okay, okay. So we haven't done much. What I I simply said is, if you have questions so far, maybe there's something you have done
Okay.
and you don't get it, you are not understanding. You ask your
Okay.
question now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So while we wait for Esther to join with her system, I'm going to do a little stuff. So basically, when you are using AutoCAD, doing a design or something, hold on, let me see if I can just pick up this. So while using your CAD software in doing any basic design, there are few things you must put into consideration. And one of those things is that your your um, your shape or object must be closed. So if you are drawing a shape like the one on my screen, one of the things you have to do is that you need to make sure that this is a closed boundary area. It has a closed boundary area. And what does that mean? If I draw a circle like this and um, let me just draw something. Let me just draw something like this. Yeah. So now, if you are looking at this object from this point, you are going to, you are going to assume that these circles are closed, but they are not. Now, I'm going to use my hatch tool, which is this gradient, and try to pick this internal point. Now, it's going to give me that error message with um, Esther said she is experiencing. It said a closed boundary cannot be determined. That's because that's because there's an opening here. So the moment you are encountering such issue or such challenge, just know that somewhere in your drawing is opened. So in order for me to solve this, I'm going to hit the escape key. I'll hit the escape key should click on this, then join this. Now, the moment I've done that and I use the hatch tool again, you find out that I cannot apply my hatch. So, whatever you are doing in AutoCAD and you encounter this issue of not enclosed boundary, just know that there's an opening somewhere in your drawing. When you were trimming, something did not align properly. So the moment you use your hatch and it's not in a closed, um, it's not enclosed, you are definitely going to get this error message. You are definitely going to get this error message. So basically that's it. I'm waiting for Esther. Esther, are you there? Have you joined with your sister?
I'm here, but I tried joining my system, but I'm having an issue. It's not. I don't think it's going.
Okay, but the
I'm not sure.
explanation I just gave, but the explanation
I understand.
so that's basically what you have to do. You have to check your drawing and see where there's an opening. You have to zoom in very well internally. And where you are having that challenge is basically your where you did your trimming for circle, your tantan ridges. Wherever you're applying tantan ridges, you need to zoom into those areas because that's where you um, possibly made a mistake.
Okay, so thank you. Let me try that now.
Yeah. So if you are raising your hand, you can unmute your mic and speak as long as it has to do with AutoCAD, not something different.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I
Please,
can hear
would
you.
there be a recorded session for this class, for this overview?
Is that your question?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Does anyone have any other question with me? Any other challenge? Unmute your mic and speak. You have raised up your hand like 10 times now. If you are raising up your hand, unmute your mic and speak. I can't unmute your mic for you.
Hear what you were saying. I was asking if you just take it, if it's possible to take it again. I think network just threw me out. Please.
Does anyone have any question? Just unmute yourself and speak.
Is it possible to use the line system for the end shape instead of the coordinate system?
Come again, come again.
Is it possible to use the line system for that end shape instead of the coordinate system?
Yes, yes, you can do that. So I think the classes also have explanation of where you can use the the normal line in drawing your object. That was what we started with. You get before we did coordinates. So you can use your normal way of drawing any object. You specify the distance and all that. Okay, so Esther, I think that's her name. She said she has found the issue, and that's why we are organizing this class. So does anyone have any other question? If you are unmuting, if you are raising up your hand, please unmute yourself and speak. I think you have been raising up your hands. You can unmute your mic and speak. Chinecherim also, you can unmute your mic and speak. You have been raising up your hands.
I said, can you take it again? I didn't get it.
What didn't you get?
Like the explanation you gave to Esther.
Jesus Christ. What I said was if you are using the hatch tool, use the hatch tool
Mm,
and you
oh,
click on the internal boundary area you are supposed to hatch and you encounter this error message. Just know that there's an opening somewhere in your drawing. So all you need to do is zoom into every corner to make sure that you have a closed um, boundary area. Like if you find an opening like this, all you need to do is to click on it and join it. Then apply your art to
oh,
again and you absorb that. So if you're just joining, please mute your if your mic is on, please mute your mic.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good evening. Sorry, I wanted to ask when it comes to 3D, I don't know, can we talk on 3D?
Okay.
I'm having an issue with my 3D drawing. For instance, I want to draw on the left side of the cardinal point, but it keeps showing me the top, like I can only draw so that I will extrude. What I want to do is I
Are
want to
you
draw
joining
on
with
the
your
left
laptop?
side and extrude.
Are you joining with your laptop?
No, I'm joining with a phone. I'm joining with a phone.
Oh, first of all, you are not audible enough. I can't hear you. So if you are joining with your laptop, sorry, if your laptop is on, you can join with your laptop so that you can share your screen. But note that not every question you ask on 3D I will answer because 3D is actually for the paid
Okay.
class, not for free class. Okay,
Oh,
Isaac, you can
oh,
mute yourself and ask a question. Chinechere, your hands are still on, up. You can also unmute and ask two questions.
I've understood it too.
Okay. Isaac, Wole, your hands are up. Okay. Okay, so for those of you just joining, I'm asking what are the challenges you have encountered so far while trying to do your design or something? Esther, you're still raising up your hand. Or Obi, so your name is Esther Obi. You can ask your question.
Yes, my name is Esther Obi. I wanted to ask, when the video you guys released for day three, if as somebody who just started AutoCAD, if I'm to see that image for the first time, how do I know where the circle was drawn from? Like especially those circles that have radius of 72 and 56. Like how do I know where the center point started from if we're not told? If we just see the image and want to reproduce it on our own, how will we know?
Okay. Does anyone have any other question while I open my if you're raising up your hand, unmute your mic and speak. I've said that before. I've called Isaac, he's still raising up his hands.
There is an example where we need to place circles on the same circle on 4 different locations. So is there a shortcut to doing that instead of having to draw it one by one?
You use the copy tool to copy it across.
There is an example. There is an example
Yes,
where we need to draw. There is an example where we need to draw a circle, the same circle, the same radius, diameter, in 4 different locations on a single drawing. So is there a shortcut to doing that instead of drawing it one after again and again?
for something like this, you have this same circle. We have this same circle here, one, two, three, four. What you need to do is after you have drawn this, you can copy it to this point, copy it to this point, copy it to this point. But you need to know the exact point you are copying it from because the distance from here to here is 13 and the distance from here to here is 12. So you need to make sure that you are copying it to the right place um, on your drawing. So let's start ask the question for beginners. How are you going to know that you are where to draw the circle from? Okay. Um, so for this circle here, we have this circle of we have this circle of radius 10. Now, when you see a dimension attached to the circle like this, know that it's taken from the midpoint. So I'm seeing a radius 10 here. I automatically know that this circle is being drawn from this center point here, this center point here. Now I have another one of radius 56, and I can see the arrow that it is referencing this center point. My arrow is referencing the center point here. This is where my mouse cursor is. That's where my arrow is referencing. So I automatically know that yes, this circle, the reference point is from this center. Then I also have this circle here, which has a radius of 10. Now, when you see a circle like this and it's popping out, like I explained in this point, if you see a circle and you see the radius, just know that it's taken from the inside. So this radius 6 is taken from the inside. The same thing, this radius 10 is taken from the inside, which is this dotted point. Now, what you need to ask yourself as an engineer is how am I going to get this dotted point here, which is somehow impossible to get. That's where you now use your Bantam radius. So the moment you see a circle that for you to get the internal point is somehow difficult, you use Bantam radius. The same thing applies to this. You can see this dotted point here. You can also see this dotted point here. When you see these 2 points, just know that this is where the circle is getting its reference from. Then you use Bantam radius. We have another one of 72, which the arrow is outside. Now, the moment I know that this arrow is outside, I automatically look for the nearest reference point to use. And the nearest reference point I can use is what? Is this reference point here of the inner smaller end circle. So this is the reference point I'm going to use. Initially, when I was creating this video, I actually tested out to see. First of all, I used this internal point here as my reference point. This portion, but I checked it. The circle was too big, so I now have to use the other reference point. So When we start the advanced class, which is going to be paid, um, there are some things.
Okay.
Okay, it's clear. Hello?
It
What's
was not me that spoke. I didn't talk.
okay? So, what was I explaining? Okay, so when we start the advanced class, there are some other extra tools, extra things we're going to be looking at, like how to read a drawing. For instance, this drawing now, basically, if I'm to do it, I'm just going to use like three tools in doing this for something more complex. All these are simple drawings, sharp, but I'm coming. Let me look for something. Let me look for something advanced that we are going to do in our class. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to look for some advanced stuff we are going to do during our training. If your mic is on, mute it. Please mute your mic. Wait, Isaac, you can ask a question. So this is the file we are going to be using to do some
Good
advanced
afternoon.
training. Yeah. Okay, just give me a minute. Um,
Can you hear me?
yes, I'm hearing.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. I need to explain something. So, for
All right.
instance, when if you are given something like this to draw, a, a model like this to draw, the first thing you're going to ask is, where am I going to start? How do I get this? And one of the things we are going to teach in the advanced classes, how to interpret engineering drawings. Because looking at this now, it looks simple. Sometimes it looks hard. What is going to help you out is knowing where to start. The moment you get a good starting point, you can do it. If you don't get a good starting point, you are going to spend like 1 hour doing this, and at the end of the day, you won't be able to do it. So I'm still looking for some kind of advanced drawing. All these are simple drawings. Just give me a minute. Okay, you can ask a question.
Okay. What I wanted to ask is concerning this particular session we are having. Is there like a recorded? Is it going to be recorded? Because I saw you drawing some kind of snowman shape diagram earlier that you arched. So I don't know. Maybe it's still part of the free class. I don't know. And my question too is based on the duration. I thought it was supposed to be a 1 month class. I think I joined and we started few days ago. So I don't know. I don't know how that is going to work out. So and now you're talking about a paid class. So I'm trying to understand it. So that's my question.
Okay, so you just joined. This session is recorded. Um, so it's a 1 month training. Every week we have different trainings we do. So last week was for AutoCAD. This week that's coming up is for people that are enrolled for Fusion 360. Next week is for paper structure, I guess. And upper week for Aspen Isis and ANSYS. So that's how it goes for 3 weeks. And we have been making that announcement right from the ab initio when we started this. Okay, so let's look at some kind of a little bit complex drawing like this, which is not really complex. I'm trying to look for something difficult, very, very difficult, that we are going to be doing during the advanced class. Just give me a minute. All these are simple, quite easy. Okay, let's look at this. Now, one of the things we are going to teach you is you see how this drawing it is the preview which you need to develop, and this is the dimension drawing. We are going to teach you how to understand, read, understand, and interpret machine drawings. Because if you don't know how to read and understand these drawings, definitely you cannot develop this. You understand? So you need to know how to. In fact, using AutoCAD, the first thing you need to do is to know how to read drawings. Your work, most of your work lies on the 2D before you start working on 3D model. So for instance now, you have been seeing a 3D model that is very, very difficult. No, the 3D models are not. In fact, 3D modeling in AutoCAD is actually the easy part. The difficult part is the 2D. If you don't understand this drawing now, you are going to be looking at it as something that is very complex. But actually, in doing this whole drawing, dimensioning it, putting hearts can take you less than 20 minutes, despite how complex it is. This is going to take you less than 20 minutes. You might start teaching you the advanced class because this is actually very, very simple. Very, very simple. Maybe 15 minutes you'll be done with it. Same thing applies to this. Forget all these lots of dimension you are seeing. It's something that is very easy to do if you know the technique you are going to be teaching in the advanced class. Because when you go into the industry, one of the things your employer is looking at is your speed and efficiency. So if we want to model this for a client and um, we need it to be out as soon as possible, and it's taking you about a day to do this, man, it shows that you are not efficient. But doing this, I can tell you this is going to take basically say 15 minutes, 15 minutes, maximum 20. That if I want to do it in the advanced class, 30 minutes based on the fact that I'm teaching you, that's it. Because it's just it's a simple diagram. That if you know the professional way of doing any design, all these are something that's going to take you less than 15 minutes to do. So I'm still expecting questions, more questions. So I believe I have um, answered the first question, knowing where to start from in the design.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, this from last week I've been seeing the videos and the pictures on the something like three mechanical drawing. I don't know,
Can you
maybe.
please be audible?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, but you're not that audible.
Oh, sorry about that. So I've been watching the videos on the training since last week. Oh, I just noticed that I'm seeing some kind of mechanical drawing pictures. And I mean, I thought it's also can should engage or carry out the civil engineering. I mean, people that want to do building and all that. Even as the training is on, I'm seeing some kind of all these 3D mechanical drawing, all these technical drawing.
So what we are actually teaching you is how to use AutoCAD. We are not specific. We are not um, specializing in mechanical or electrical or whatever. If you know how to use AutoCAD, you'll be able to do other disciplinary drawings because you are using the same tools. You are not using something different. There is no tab here in AutoCAD that says that okay, this tab is what you are going to use when you want to do mechanical design, or this tab is what you are going to use when you are doing structural design. So if I was to do something like maybe okay, I think I still have some drawing samples. So just give me a minute. So this is
So I'm raising up my hand. You didn't call me.
yes, yes. I did. If your mic is on your head, I will remove it from this call. I've said this over and over again. Mute your mic. I'll call you when I'm done. I've forgotten how to explain it. Okay, so this is a structural, a civil design, basically talking about the reinforcement. This is panel, the slab. All the things that whatever was done here is not something different. The last class we talked about dimension. These are lines. This is a text which we have not done. So we are teaching you how to use AutoCAD, not how to use AutoCAD for structural design or electrical design. When you know how to use AutoCAD, you cannot apply it in any field you want to. So learning structural design is different from learning AutoCAD. I think I should make that clear. Then, um, Oluwasayo, you can unmute yourself and ask. If your question has been answered, I think you need to remove the raise hand from your profile so that we know those who are still whose question has not been answered. Oluwasayo, you can ask your question. Unmute your mic. Oluwasayo John, you can unmute your mic. Does anyone have any other question?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, sir. Please, sir, I'm on my knee begging. I want to know whether there is provision for us to watch this video later because I'm just leaving office to my house and I'm going to be on transit. So the
I
network
see.
is doing somehow. So I want
Okay. I've said
to know
it.
there's provision for us to watch later.
Yes, this
Thank you, sir.
yes, this session is recorded. I think so many persons have asked that question before. All our classes are recorded. That's it. All our classes are recorded, except the second class, which we don't know why it was half recording that came out. Okay, so I'm still expecting questions, and
Okay, I have a question. Can I go on?
okay, before you go on, someone asked how much is the advanced class and for how long. So we are still
Yes, that's my question actually.
okay. So we are still speaking with the Nigerian Society of Engineers. They are the ones to subsidize the training. And what we propose is a 2 months training. for any of the courses you'll be going for, but the fee has not been fixed yet. So before the end of the 1 month training, we are going to um, finalize on that. Okay. Olabode, you can ask your question.
Yeah, hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, so I want to my question is just it's almost like a request. The assignment that's been given over time for this AutoCAD lesson, it's difficult to like align all of them together. I just on the group, I just see them like scattered. So I'll just say screenshot these assignments. I don't know if there's a way that the coordinators can just help us to probably get all the assignments together, probably in a folder or something, and then we'll be able to just work on it once.
Check on the Telegram group. Yeah, all the assignments are there.
Yeah, like what I'm trying to say is that the assignments are uh some are not clear, some are not well stated as an assignment. You will know the what different to differentiate the classwork from the assignment and all of sorts. You've
Anything.
seen many more.
Eh,
I'm just seeing pictures
yes,
on the Telegram platform.
any picture you see on the Telegram platform is an assignment.
Okay, no
Yes.
problem. Then. Thank you.
Yeah. Oluwasayo, please ask your question. Olabode, yes, okay, yes. Oluwasayo, ask your question.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
You made mention of my email.
No, 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 no. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oluwasayo, John, Taiwo, please ask your question. If you don't have any question, remove the hand, raising of hand from your profile. Okay, I'm still waiting for more questions. More questions. More questions. None? Okay. How many persons here registered for Fusion 360? Fusion 360 class is starting today by 8:30 p.m. and by 8:30 p.m. So those of you that registered for maybe AutoCAD, Fusion, you know that your class is starting today and you don't need to miss it. Throughout the training, you do your assignments and create a poster and on LinkedIn, tag NSC, KJR and Rent, Reagra Engineering Trainings Limited on, on LinkedIn, and also try to follow our YouTube channel because all these trainings are going to be dropped on the YouTube channel. You get. Okay, first you said I really appreciate the effort of that. The 3D is going to be covered intensively in the advanced class. Okay, if there is no other question, contribution whatsoever, I think, okay, but before I end this session, I would like to get feedback from you guys. How have these 3 days training been? Have you learned something? I know that some of you here, this is not the first time you are enrolling for an AutoCAD training, but I believe for from the beginning of this class to this point in time, you have learned something. So if we are to ask you to recommend someone to participate maybe in our future free training, would you do that? Did you find training, um, this free training, educative enough for you to, let's say, refer or recommend rather, recommend someone to participate in it? Okay, the first is you can unmute yourself and speak. Francis, you can unmute your mic. If any other person has a question, you can unmute your mic and speak. So I asked, how are people?
Okay, I want to speak.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the efforts in putting this training together.